So absolutely breaking news is, I guess, Bloomberg reported that Sony had an internal press briefing where they're discussing games that they're going to make. Now, of course, for gamers, generally, when studios announce new things, good stuff. However, this report was pretty weird and actually kind of alarming, where Sony plans to refocus their games for blockbuster games, meaning they're only going to focus on games that will make them a lot of money, I guess. They canceled Days Gone 2, which was as much as it wasn't a critical success, it was an absolute commercial success, selling well over 4 million copies. They canceled the sequel to it to announce The Last of Us Remastered. And they then remake. Not remastered, remake. And along with that, they're only focusing on 3 big franchises at the moment. God of War 6, Uncharted, and Last of Us. So if you're a fan of any other franchise that they ever made, you're most likely not going to get anything. But here's the issue that we have today, is that The Last of Us, a game that is less than 10 years old, came out in 2013.
And by the time the remake comes out, it'll probably be 10 years old.
It'll probably be 10 years old. And it got a remastered port in which everyone thinks that the game was released on the PlayStation 4. So they plan to remake The Last of Us. They haven't really gave any hints, but I think me and Dave both have one concerning question of
why?
There's no reason from what we've gathered. We both played the game. It's a very good movie. And I really can't think what they would do with a remake. Because this isn't a remaster. A remaster means you take an ugly game and you make it look pretty. A remake is when you build it from the ground up into something different, right? Just like a movie, right? Think of remasters as like when you take an old movie and put it on Blu-ray, and think of a remake like when you have a really old movie and Hollywood needs to put lifeblood into it, so they make a new product that's nothing like it at all, but that has the same title. Just imagine it like that. Why does a less than 10-year-old game need one?
As Howard mentioned, we both played the game. We like it. I really enjoy it. I never really got the hype around The Last of Us, but I can see why people think it's like, the be-all, end-all of video gaming. And I'm not saying I wouldn't think it'd be cool to see it remade with all the polish that The Last of Us Part 2 has, because for the problems The Last of Us 2 has, it's a dang good-looking game. It's one of the most gorgeous games I've ever played. But do we need The Last of Us remade? The answer, I swear to God. I'm just going to ignore it from now on.
Okay.
Unless it really falls down.
Okay.
That's my train of thought.
Do we really need
The Last of Us remade? The answer, unsurprisingly, is no.
All the things that Dave want, you could just do in a remaster, right? You could just make another remaster. You could just make it look pretty again. There's nothing wrong with that.
No, absolutely.
But like the amount of hours and manpower to make a remake of a game when you just couldn't make a third one instead?
Or what I would like to see, I'd love to see a new IP from Naughty Dog.
Or how about a new Jak and Daxter from Naughty Dog?
That doesn't exist according to PlayStation.
That hurts.
Am I wrong?
You're not wrong.
Exactly.
When was the last time Jak and Daxter had anything?
I don't know.
Other than like an HD collection. Absolutely. And like it just seems like this is by the way a cash grab for normal people, right? This is just a cash grab who just sees The Last of Us and just buys it. Mm-hmm. This is not to be like mean, but like this is the sheeples game. There's really no need for this, but they just know people are going to buy it. And honestly,
it's probably going to work.
It's absolutely going to work. And they canceled Days Gone 2 to do this. So if you are a Days Gone fan...
Sucks, apparently.
Yeah, if you are a fan of any IP Sony has that isn't the 3, well, I'm sorry, but you're going to get a Last of Us remake instead. I'm so disappointed.
So am I.
This
And
is-
again, I like The Last of Us. I would consider myself a fan of The Last of Us. But we don't need this. I don't think anyone even wants it.
There's a fringe fanatic for Sony minority who wants this.
All right. This is messages to you guys then, the people who want it. Shut up.
Like, do you know how many better IP? Sony has like up there with Nintendo for the best collection of IPs, and they never do absolutely anything with them. They never do. They never do any bit. Like I was looking on Twitter, and there's just a list of how many IPs that Sony has not touched since like the PS3. This includes things like Twisted Metal. This includes things like Jak and Daxter. Like, these are like multi-million seller games here that they're just going like, no, we want to remake The Last of Us instead.
It's because they know that it'll make money. I from a business perspective, I understand it because from a business perspective, I understand it because think about it this way, like say they bring back Sly Cooper.
Yeah.
How much money do you think they will make off a new Sly Cooper game versus another Last of Us?
If they put the money into the advertising they had for Last of Us, the same amount, but they're not going to do it for Sly Cooper because they don't know if they will make that much money
Exactly,
back.
that's the point.
That's the point.
They don't. It's more of a risk to bring back one of those old IPs that has been dead for so long.
I mean, look at the Medieval remake. They didn't care like at all. They didn't put any money.
I
into
kind of
marketing.
forgot that remake came out.
I know, but it exists. They didn't do it. You know, they just dropped it when they didn't have enough exclusives for the Christmas season and just said, here you go. Have fun. Bye. So honestly, it's lazy. It's going to make money, but it's just stupid, dumb, and a waste of time.
Yeah.
There's no need. Now, there are rumors that people are theorizing that it's to add stuff from the HBO show that they're making for The Last of Us, and they're going to put it into the game, which is probably the most useless reason to ever have just like make a director's cut DLC.
Mm-hmm.
Just make a director's cut. Done.
Here's the thing about that. I'm interested in the show. I like Pedro Pascal as an actor from Game of Thrones fame and The Mandalorian. I like whatever her name is, who's playing Ellie. She was really cool in Game of Thrones as well. And I like Craig Mazin, who did the Chernobyl series on HBO. I think Chernobyl is one of the best television series I've ever watched. But if you're going to put content from that series, original content from that series, into the remake of the game, what is the point of the TV series? I just played the game because at that point you have more of a level of interactivity. So the TV show has no reason to exist. Do you see the problem here? Do you see the problem here?
It's multimedia, Dave. Don't you want a Last of Us comic that just retells the same story and Last of Us novelizations that just tell the same story?
I think there is a Last of Us comic. It takes place before the DLC of the first game. It's like American something.
Don't you want it to tell the same exact story as the game?
No, I don't.
What if, okay, now hear me out. What if they remade the game, called it a new name like Clickers Are Us, or Scared Little Girl and Big Papa Man, right?
I'd buy it. You kidding me? Clickers Are Us, I'd buy that.
Analogy's over. You ruined it. I'm done. I'm done with this.
You shouldn't have made such a good joke then.
Sucks to be funny, I guess. Yeah, I guess moral of the story is this is dumb. It's dumb, waste of time. We don't need it. 5 people want it. It's not worth it.
Either make new IPs or bring old IPs back, please.
Or just make Last of Us 3. It's really not that hard.